Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be showing you which games to get on the Steam sale, the ones I like the most. I mean, the ones that are the best for their prices. First of all, this is all my opinion. If you don't agree with my opinion, just live with it. And well, I'm going to tell you all the prices in US dollars, since that's my store's currency. I live in South America, so that's the price we have to deal with. All these games aren't in any particular order. So the first one, Batman Arkham City, for $4.99. So for $5 you can get Batman Arkham City with all the DLC. So this is the Game of the Year edition. Fantastic game. I suggest you get it. It's a long game. The DLC is totally worth it. And there is a lot of story mode to play. I mean, this doesn't have any multiplayer mode or anything like that. So this has a great story, one of the best superhero games of all time. You can also get Batman Arkham Origins and Arkham Asylum for $5 each too, if you want to complete the series. Next up is Bioshock Triple Pack for $7.88. So if you didn't even play Bioshock at all, I suggest you start right now. We have Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2 and Bioshock Infinite without the DLC. The stories on those games are fantastic. In my opinion, the best was Bioshock 1, then Bioshock Infinite, then Bioshock 2. You can buy them separately if you so desire. I suggest playing all of them and then get the Bioshock Infinite DLC. Fantastic games, great stories to get there. Then next up we have Doom, $35.99. So Doom, what not to say about Doom? It's a great game, great story campaign. It has multiplayer, but it's kind of forgettable in my opinion, but you can play a couple hours and have fun with it. Well, it's a new game, it's a very recent release, and for $35.99, in my opinion, it's totally worth it. It was worth $40, so it's worth $35.99. If you want to see how it runs, I have a lot of videos showing that app. It runs fine and it's a lot of fun. It's a throwback to Doom's roots that we were waiting for a long time. In this day and age that we have all the games being open world and all that kind of stuff, we have Doom that goes back to the more linear style of shooters. Next up we have Arma 3, $19.99. So Arma 3, if you're a fan of military simulation, Arma 3 is a great game to start. It's very demanding, so you might want to check if your PC can run it. On the GTX 750 Ti and GTX 950 it runs totally fine. You can play it just fine. No issues there. The multiplayer is kinda harder to run than the single player due to in this case it's not a problem with the PC but with the servers. So when there are a lot of players, the server kinda struggles to maintain the game running and it will struggle for everyone. So people have issues with Arma 3 even on GTX 980s, but it's worth $20 in my opinion. There's a lot of DLC, but it's separate. You might want to avoid the DLC for now if you don't know what you're getting into, but if you like military simulation. Next up we have Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition, $4.99. So for $5 you can get the first Dark Souls with all the DLC, which is fantastic. It's a great game. I have around 90 hours into Dark Souls. It's a fantastic game. It's way better than Dark Souls 2 and is on par with Dark Souls 3. In my opinion, the Dark Souls 1 is the best Dark Souls game. I suggest you get it if you want to get started with Dark Souls or just play the third one. The first one is a fantastic game. Then we have Witcher 3, $24.99. This is a fantastic price. You cannot go wrong with The Witcher. Get The Witcher 3, $24.99 is a lot of value here. I've been playing for around 50 hours and I'm not even halfway through the game. So imagine that. With all the side quests, all the free content, there is a lot of value here and the stories are fantastic. The secondary quests are, sometimes you confuse secondary quests with primary quests. They are so well acted, such a fantastic gameplay and progression. I can keep going, but I have to show you more games, so if you want to experience Witcher, just get The Witcher 3. Next we have Bully, $3. So Bully, I just made a video about this a few hours ago, I meant. What to say about this? Well, it's from Rockstar Games, the people who made Grand Theft Auto, but in this case you are on high school. And there's a big open world that you are unlocking chunk by chunk. You'll first be just in the school, then you can go outside. And it's a lot of fun. It was released in 2008 for PC and in 2006 for the PS2 and the original Xbox. For $3, in my opinion, it's worth it. You get a lot of game time here. It's a single player game, don't expect any multiplayer. It's a terrible port, but for $3 it's worth the trouble. I mean, there are a lot of fixes around out there, and if you check my video I explain how to fix most of the issues. But it's a fantastic game and it's worth $3. Then we have Borderlands 2, $4.99. Borderlands 2, you can get the Game of the Year edition for $7.49. It's a great price for this game. You can sink a lot of hours in here. It has a co-op mode, so if more friends own this game, you can play with them. And it's a fantastic game to pass time if you like shooters and you have a good sense of humor. You'll enjoy this game a lot. It has great humor, great characters, and fun gameplay. It's pretty much looting all over the place. Next up we have Tomb Raider, the first one, the reboot from 2013, $5. This is the revival of Lara Croft in some way. This is the prequel from Rise of the Tomb Raider. And I suggest you get it for $5. It's great value. You have a single player campaign and multiplayer. Although I don't suggest you play multiplayer. Multiplayer is kinda dead now and it's nothing special in my opinion. It looks like a copy from Uncharted, the multiplayer. It wasn't very attractive for me. Then we have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, $7.49. This game is one of the best Assassin's Creeds out there, in my opinion. It's my third favorite Assassin's Creed. The first one is Assassin's Creed 2. The second one in my list is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And the third one is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. This is a great open world game. You have multiplayer too. There's not much people playing. The only downside to this is that you need Uplay to play this, so it will launch on Steam, then open Uplay and you'll play the game. It's a very big game, a lot of great stuff. It's like the Pirates of the Caribbean game that Disney never made, but with the Assassin's Creed name slapped on it. You have awesome naval combat, the usual Assassin's Creed stuff, chasing people in the streets, trying to hear what they say. But yeah, the meat in this game is in the naval battles for the most part. Then we have Metro Redux, $7.49. So this is Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, both games remastered, remade from scratch, Metro 2033. In this case, this remaster didn't offer much for Metro Last Light, but for Metro 2033 it made a completely different game, in my opinion. The graphics look better, the game runs better than the first Metro, the first release, and the mechanics are much more polished. If you don't want to get both, you can get each one of them separately for $5, but for $7.49 it's there's a lot of value here. Awesome single player campaigns. Then we have Witcher 2, $2.99. So for $3 you can get The Witcher 2, which is an awesome RPG. If you didn't play Witcher 3 yet, I suggest you start with Witcher 2. It's aged pretty well, I have to say. Witcher 1, in my opinion, didn't age that well, but it's still playable. I finished it a long time ago. But yeah, Witcher 2, great story, a lot of quests. It's not open world, but you have freedom to go pretty much where you want, but with loading screens in between. It's not a great port, but with the 750 Ti and the GTX 950, it runs totally fine, so there's nothing to worry about. And it's a challenging game, so I pretty much enjoy it all the way through. And the story was more interesting the more you play. Then we have Wolfenstein The New Order, $9.99. So for $10 you can get Wolfenstein The New Order. It's like Bethesda is giving us back the old franchises like Doom and Wolfenstein. So yeah, just as Doom, Wolfenstein The New Order is a great game, balls to the wall, just like Doom, but in a different way. I mean, it's killing Nazis over again in an alternative world, from saying it some way. And you can go dual wielding shotguns, dual wielding assault rifles, dual wielding sniper rifles. It's crazy. I mean, it's one of the best shooters of 2014. So I suggest you get it for $9.99. I didn't like the DLC, which is the Old Blood. That one, it wasn't very interesting in my opinion for what I played, but the game runs totally fine at 60 frames per second on the 750 Ti and the GTX 950. So yeah, I suggest you get it. As you can see, most of the games that I recommended only have a single player campaign. Well, that's because I like single player campaigns. I try to stay away from multiplayer games, but that's just me. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.